Yeah, big blessings. Big blessings. Yeah, big blessings. Everywhere I look, I see blessings. So, welcome to the podcast. We're reporting live from planet Earth, from this exact moment of right here and now in Guatemala. My name is Stefán Elí. Here we have my brother,
Oliver Lynch, Ollie from Ireland. I'm super excited to be here on this podcast with you.
Likewise, friend.
And I just want to start off by saying, man, I'm so grateful to have met you and just listening to all the things I've learned from you, dropping in since the first day I kept meeting you. We're here in San Marcos, just kept meeting you on the street.
Yes.
Kept meeting you on that flow. And I just seen you and I was like, man, this guy has got something amazing.
Yes.
You know, and from that first night when we really dropped in at a house over there, and the first thing you said to me that really got me like, this is my brother, was the path is all about letting go.
And we've been connecting deeply on that ever since.
Yes.
Yeah, the divine flow orchestrated it quite beautifully there to get us together and entangled. And little did I know, man, when I first saw you on the street, just for the people listening in here, we're in Guatemala on Lake Atitlan in a little town called San Marcos. So we had seen each other on the street there a few times, and now it's been maybe about 2 months or a month and a half, 2 months since we've been living here together and creating so much magic. And I couldn't even have imagined that when I just first saw you there in town, man.
Yeah.
So powerful. So today the intention for us going in is just to speak some good heart-opening wisdom and stories and truth that we've been experiencing both recently and in our lives, and just opening up to ever greater love and presence, right?
I think that's absolutely exactly what it is, man. Because I was going to say as well, like, I literally had this intention of making a podcast as well with a while, and my intention was like to be interviewing people like yourself, you know, because I want to see like how people can, the vision of like your new world, or how like focusing on all that good stuff and like holding that intention of like a new world. And you know, because we know there's loads of stuff going on in the world, and that's fine, but my intention would be to ask people like yourself, what sort of a magical world would you like to live in? You know, where would you like to put your energy? What would you like to create, you know? And that's been kind of like my intention, and I feel so excited because I'm actually doing it.
Yes, we're creating it.
I'm taking the action, and yeah, like I'm all about synchronicity and getting into the flow of life and ways to get in there. And I think you have the most powerful way to get into the flow of life, which is sharing what you love to do.
Thank you.
Simplicity of following your bliss, the simplicity of being yourself and just enjoying every second, playing music. I get up here in the morning, just for context, this is Stefan's room.
Yeah.
And we got our pets.
We got a dog in Ollie's lap.
Yeah.
Gigi the cat is with me.
So my bedroom is 2 doors over, and I wake up in the morning whenever I wake up, which is maybe like sometimes 5 to half 6, something around that time. And I get up and I'm like, yes, man, I can't wait to start today. And I pop out and I see Stefan. He's like painting rocks, or, you know, writing in a journal or reading. And why I'm saying that is, for me to get into the flow of life and to follow the synchronicities, it's all about doing things you like to do.
Exactly.
Creating things you want to create and enjoying yourself while in the process. So that's a huge part I've learned myself, and I learned so much from you, seeing you just effortlessly enjoying, you know.
Thank you, and likewise. And yeah, before maybe I share my vision of the perfect world, I just want to recognize also the inspiration and the great power that you have gifted me with your presence and your being. It's been so inspiring just to see you waking up early, always keeping centered, keeping presence and mindfulness in every action, so energized and just full of joy and energy, and to see how much you share that to the people around you and how much you put that into every act and every word that you express. It has just been such a great inspiration to me, and I'm very thankful to get to share this beautiful experience with you here together, living in the same house with the most amazing view over the volcanoes and the lake. Can't believe how well, I can't believe it, man, because I see you with my own two eyes, but this is the unbelievable made believable. We are on a lake up in the mountains, volcanoes around, fruit trees, animals, birds, eagles flying, and I'm just so thankful to share that experience with you. And cat just fell.
GG. Yeah, man.
So yeah, calling forth what I want to see in the perfect world, because you said it there, you know, there's a lot of different experienced realities that people are going through now in the world, both on a personal level and a collective level. And we see here in San Marcos, where we live, is a microcosmic experience of a very much united and wholesome way of living. At least in my personal experience, the people take care of themselves with healthy food, with exercise, with breath practices, with meditation, and a lot of creativity, a lot of talent flowing around, and people connecting together in that. And for me, I see that is how I would want to call forth the perfect vision of the world, is to expand that and ripple out that incredible energy out over the planet, so that we can come together in more unity, in more presence, in more creativity, and realize that we are in truth not separate from each other, but rather that we are all interconnected, and we all, the health of the individual depends on the health of the whole. So by blessing up each other and sharing gifts or sharing art or inspiration or holding space with each other, we're not only giving a gift to someone else when we give out that energy, but we're giving that gift back to ourselves. So in my practice, that's what I try to focus on, is just how can I raise my energy and fill myself up with so much light that I can share it to everyone around me, whether it be the plants, the animals, the people, everything that I encounter on my path, knowing that that gets reflected back to me instantaneously. And yes, in the perfect world that I'm seeing, we're all living in that great health and creativity and abundance together.
Amazing. So what I can kind of hear there, so like the way we are in this like almost a little world of our own here in San Marcos, Lake Atalan, and we get up every day and we focus on gratitude.
Yes.
We focus on what we have rather than what we don't have.
Exactly.
So we're always seeing the blessings. We're seeing how much the fruit, just really appreciating the fruit, appreciating my friends, appreciating the dogs. And the more we are doing that, simply just enjoying what we have, we can see that our little world that we've created here in San Marcos is getting better and better.
Exactly.
Like our little world here is just, honestly, I feel, I said to you yesterday, I don't even have words to describe how good I feel, you know? So, and so like, it's a great kind of example to see for, we want to like, you know, because a lot of people maybe watching this are inspired to help and bring about an amazing world and transform the world. But it's really what we can see here, keeping it simple in our little world.
Yes.
By transforming my own world within.
Exactly.
By focusing on all this good around me, and I can feel this goodness just radiating out. Like we go on our little different journeys throughout the day, but like the amount of lives I feel I'm just touching off by keeping that vibration up. It's just like, Man, a great quote I heard yesterday from an amazing friend shared it, Sarah.
Yeah.
Give out kindness like confetti. I just see that as like just throwing out the kindness, like confetti,
Yeah.
And as you said there,
Celebration.
yeah. And as you said, the magic of giving out kindness like confetti is that confetti, that kindness just comes flooding back to you.
Right.
And that's the magic,
Yes. Yeah, that's when you, like we were talking about earlier now, about when you really start to understand the unity behind creation, that what you do unto others, you are doing unto yourself. You start to realize so much more that by, throwing out the confetti to everyone unconditionally, no matter where the person is at, what you might think of them, just love always, that gives so much back to yourself. And it's not that you're putting out all of this confetti and expecting that they will throw back confetti to you. You get the gift by yourself in the pleasure of giving that to another, because you know that you're not expecting that other person to give anything back to you, because you already received your blessing through the act of giving there. And that's also what I love about instead of a pay me back attitude, which is like I do something for you and then I keep score and I'm waiting until you give me that blessing back.
Yeah.
It's a pay it forward attitude, that I just give out my love, my joy, my gifts to whoever I meet on my path, not expecting any individual to pay me back for what I did for them, but rather just inspiring them to pay the energy forward so that they might meet someone on their path that they then give that energy to, and it ripples out like that from person to person to person, where we see that maybe the kindness that we give can ripple out to tens of thousands or millions of people, and it all flows so effortlessly when we're not expecting anything back, because then we are in a state of no resistance. We're open, because we're not holding on to any idea of having to, be paid back.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let the cat out real quick.
Let the cat do her thing. I have my, I got baby Buddha on my lap here.
A force of incredible presence.
Yeah. Just gonna have a little drink, man.
Yes. But it really is a paradise experience that we are having.
What you're saying there about, it's almost like a law or an energy, like do unto others as you would do unto yourself. So by me loving you and listening to you and really seeing you, I'm sending you that energy. I'm sending you my attention, and where your attention goes, your energy flows.
Exactly.
So I'm giving you the attention, but as I'm loving you, that energy is like flowing right back into me, and I'm filling myself up,
Yes.
It's literally, the more you give out that energy, that kindness, that love, you literally fill up yourself when there's no expectation.
Yes.
Just pure wanting to express that.
Yes.
And an amazing thing just came into me there was about, the paying it forward. And this, I see this happen a lot, and I've seen it in my life, that when you see another do really well, when someone is, like I mentioned to you last night about celebrating someone else's success.
Yes.
So, like, there has been this conditioning, I've seen before, that, you see someone, like I noticed back where I was from, someone gets a new car, or they're like, oh, that guy has a new car, and this kind of like envious attitude.
Jealous energy.
It's like, or someone's like doing really great, it's like, people like that are great, but, and what I've noticed is that, I will say, thought program, because that thought program isn't coming from spirit, it's not coming from your life.
Yes.
And that blocks you from receiving that gift, But I've noticed in my own life, when I see friends doing really well,
yes,
like, for example, how I ended up traveling, right? How I ended up traveling was one of my great friends, Joanne, shout out Joanne if she's watching this. Blessings to you, girl. She was telling me she wanted to travel. We were talking about going traveling for ages.
Yeah.
And she was like, Ollie, I can't wait to go traveling. And I was like, yeah, Joe, go for it, you know, go for it. That's exciting, you know?
Yes.
And I was supposed to be going to India. And I was doing my yoga. I was going on a yoga program for 7 months. And she told me she finally decided to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
So she went to Mexico, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I was celebrating it for her. You know? I was like, wow, I had no thought in my own mind of traveling or going to Mexico.
No.
Because I was like, I'm going to India, you know?
Yes.
So she went to Mexico. She sent me pictures of her journey, you know, and I was like, wow, that looks incredible, Joe. I was like, enjoy, you know? And I genuinely just felt this happiness for her.
Yes.
You know, it was just genuine happiness for her. And happy that she was having a great time. And I wanted to send her that energy so she had an even better time.
Yes.
You know? And then just the way it happened, I was looking up yoga courses, and Mexico kept popping up, like these synchronicities. I was trying to do a yoga course, and it turned out I had seen a video of people doing a static dance in Tulum.
Yeah.
Right? And hey man. I seen a video of people dancing in a video, and I did not know that they were in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I just had this idea like, wow, that looks great. People dancing, people free, people not in lockdown.
Yes.
And then the next day I had a dream about yoga, and I woke up in the morning and I started looking up Kundalini yoga courses.
Yeah.
And it turned out I found this yoga teacher who was in that same video dancing.
Oh, wow.
And she was in Tulum, Mexico.
Perfect.
And that was like the first kind of Mexico was coming up in my awareness.
Yes.
Like, whoa, should I go to Mexico? You know? And
That's
it was
so powerful.
It was kind of like life had showed me, it was telling me, you know, go there. It was like giving me the gift.
Exactly.
I celebrated her.
Yes.
And then life dropped me with, bam, man. Boom. Ollie, go for it.
Yes.
Go to Mexico.
That's so great, man. And it's bringing up for me also this awareness of recognizing the good in others and letting them know about it. Like, because when you're talking about celebrating other people's success, it's also about, I've seen when you start practicing to notice the good that other people are doing, whether it be something that they do or how they carry themselves or how they speak or whatever, to clearly recognize them and express it to them that you see that in them, because that feeling, the fact that you bring that into awareness, the good in the others, makes you see so much clearly how everyone around you is a blessed being. But at the same time, that recognition, when received for the other person, is one of the greatest joys in the world, when someone recognizes the goodness that you're doing. Like if you've been working hard on creating something, or you've been keeping a steady, disciplined practice to grow yourself, whether it be spiritually or physically, and then have someone come in with their awareness and recognize that in you, that feeling is so nourishing and so incredibly powerful. And we know that we always have the power in our hands to give another person the gift of that feeling, so that when we go about and we're just recognizing the good in others, this is what I've seen from you, just recognizing, wow, you're looking great, you're looking healthy, I'm so proud that you're putting in the effort with your yoga practice, or I'm so thankful for you to share your art like this, or whatever it is, just recognizing the good in others and bringing that into awareness. It just creates a habit of directing your focus and directing your attention towards the positive. And like we've been all about talking about this, that this game of life is just all about where you direct your attention. And you like said it there earlier, where attention goes, energy flows. And there's an infinite amount of things that you could keep in your space of awareness. You know, we know that there's so much going on out there in the world, that if you wanted to, you could only keep negative things in your state of awareness for eternity, and you would never run out of things. But the same goes for the positive. So for me, I've just seen the choice lies in my hands. What do I decide to keep in my awareness? And I've seen what serves me the best is just to focus on good things, because like we've been saying, this quote is so good. like the more you focus on how good it is, the better it gets.
Woo! that's like, I just, like, can it be that good? Yeah!
Yes, and it can even be better.
It could be better. And it's getting better and better. I
Each
keep
and every
saying
moment.
that. And just on that point as well, just for anybody watching who might be feeling like, I can't just focus on the good, you know, what am I going to do with all these problems I have, you know, or these like these pains I've had in my past, you know, you don't know maybe what I've been through, or all of this stuff, you know, that
Yes.
you know, people have had happen in their lives, these different experiences, you know. And I'll just share like my own experience of that, like in a simple way, like not gonna get into anything too much,
Detail,
but
yeah.
in the simple form of like, there's been so many different things that have happened to me throughout my life that in where I am right now, I guess, like you talked about directing your attention, you know, where energy goes. And for a while I was holding on to a lot of that pain, and you know, I felt like I was doing a lot of this therapy and I had to focus on it,
Yes.
you know, to heal it. I felt like I had to really get in, and you know, I had to like hold on to this pain,
Yeah.
you know, or like I had to process it and feel it all the time, you know. But I realized what I was doing was I was actually just keeping that within me.
Yes.
I wasn't actually letting go. And just talked about directing to the good, like, for example, yesterday, like I was crying all day yesterday. You know, I was crying all day. I literally, before we started this podcast, me and Steph just did like an energy blast like this, you know. And I just focused on some gratitude, and I was just appreciating how much I love this brother. And I just started crying, you know, because I feel pain in my body being released. And that pain in my body is being released. It's not being released by focusing on what the pain might have been. It's by directing my attention onto what I love about myself, what I love about my brothers,
Yes.
all the good in my life. The more I give my energy to wanting to speak truth, wanting to speak love, all of that pain that's been stuck inside of me, it's not getting the energy or attention anymore.
No.
And it's being allowed the space to release.
Yes.
So the gift of gratitude is the gift of healing, because the more you focus on how you love yourself, and the more you focus on the greatness in everything, like
Yes.
Einstein, you know, the miracle of life, that stuff you keep saying that doesn't serve me at all, you know, that's in there, I'm allowing that to pass through.
Yes.
I'm allowing it to, the way I see it, it's like the energy is held it within there.
Yes.
Like I have this pain, like different sicknesses, you know, drinking, traumas, you know, going wild, you know,
Yeah.
a wild life. And it's like, how am I going to deal with that? Okay, I just got to take my attention off of it. I honor it, and I don't get down on myself about it.
Yes.
But I just bring myself up, you know.
Yes.
And a great way of doing that is saying gratitude and self-love, man.
That's the gratitude is the most powerful energy frequency I've seen. That, like you say, they're not diving into the stories and trying to heal them by existing within that energy field, because it feels almost like a battle, you know. You're trying to always go in and fight that trauma, fight the pain, but that just brings up that beautiful quote in me now, what you resist persists.
Yeah.
So when you maintain that tension where you think you're always trying to heal it, you just reinforce that same energy, which just perpetuate the cycle of you trying to heal it, because God or the universe or life, the answer to every wish is yes. So if you are always in a state of energy where you're trying to heal, you will just maintain that. But when you rather focus on seeing how you're already healed and pointing towards the pointing the focus towards positivity, you realize that it's better not to dive into the stories of the past, not to dive into the details of the pain, but rather become present in the moment of now, because the past really does not exist. It's only a figment within your imagination there. And so rather recognizing what you're feeling exactly in this moment now, honoring that and surrendering fully to the feeling within yourself, and that's when you truly allow yourself to move through it, and you realize that it can be so effortless. It doesn't have to be this battle where you're trying to slay your demons and you're all in there getting bloody, and
yeah.
it can be such a graceful expansion and opening where you just step into awareness, health and alignment without diving into the stories. And that's the practice of letting go for me.
Yeah, that's absolutely you know, again back to like, it almost seems too good.
Yeah.
You know? Like people might listen and be like, that, no way, that's too good.
Yeah.
You know? But honestly, that's how I can see it as well, you know. And I have done lots of different healing, lots of therapy, and I was going to it and I was talking, you know, about these things that were happening to me, and I was talking about the problem, you know, and this is how it makes me feel, but I was just energizing it.
Yeah.
I was energizing it, and I wasn't actually letting go.
Yes.
You know? And then, as I was saying yesterday, I just have these moments of, the more I focus on gratitude, focus on love, self-acceptance, then I have these amazing bursts of just release, like I just break down crying, you know, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm not crying like, oh, it's so hard. I'm crying. My body is like releasing,
Yes,
you know?
it's a tension release that's moving out of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's it's truly, truly amazing.
Yes. That's what I'm seeing as well about not directing the focus towards the negative, but at the same time recognizing the truth of your current state, that sometimes the story needs to be expressed in order to distance yourself away from it.
Yeah.
Whether it be putting it down in a journal or speaking it to someone.
Yeah.
Because then you can get it outside of yourself and surrender it, but you don't want to make it a habit to focus on that. If you're always talking about your pain to everyone you encounter, you're always putting the focus, then you don't heal it, but still recognizing that sometimes it needs to be expressed because it is too much to hold in the moment.
Exactly.
But that's not the way to get rid of it. That's just the way to help you get a clearer and a wider perspective, at least for me. That's how I see it. And that allows you to more freely let it go and surrender it.
Yeah. And just something came back to me there again. You mentioned a minute ago that about this, as human beings, I've realized now that, okay, all we are is this in this moment, me and you here, and everything outside this moment would be either my memory or imagination of the future.
Yes.
So I have a powerful memory and I have an amazing imagination.
Yeah.
And for me, my whole life, all of the time, at that point, I was suffering my memory of the past.
Yes.
Or I was imagining a future filled with fear.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here in the only moment there is now.
Yes.
And I was diving back into my memory, and I was bringing up all these pains, these traumas, and I was reliving it in this moment now. Or else I was using my imagination to look into the future, thinking, oh God, I'm never gonna get it. You know, and I was just like sitting in my room, just like, you know, and that's why I would look to escape from that reality.
Yeah.
And that's why I use drink, drugs, at different points.
Yes.
And by that I mean like alcohol, you know, that sort of drink, just to make that clear. Because I know we've talked about other types of medicines.
Yes.
But I'm not diving into that right now. And then I would want to escape that reality, you know, the reality that I was creating.
Yes.
You know, in my own mind. So with this, we're on this kind of topic of letting go and using gratitude to letting go.
Yes.
And you mentioned the word perspective, and how a great way to let go is when I view my past now.
Yes.
Like when I see these different things that happened to me through drinking, through different relationships that went all over the place, you know, through sickness. I had hard times with illness. And now when I look back on them times, I can look at it with a different perspective.
Yes.
And see like, wow, I've really grown from that time in my life.
Yes.
You know, like, wow, this happened to me. I got so sick, you know, I went through these treatments, and I can flip it around, you know?
Yes.
And by flipping it around, I'm changing my thinking.
Yeah.
And back again to, when you change your thinking, you change your life.
Yes.
And that's one of the most powerful things I've realized, by literally changing your perspective. Okay, these things happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do I want to view that?
Yeah.
Do I want to empower myself? Do I want to empower myself? Do I want to say, wow, this happened to me. I got sick. I went through these chemotherapy, these different things, right? Do I want to see that as, oh no, remember I told you the last day that I realized I went through this stuff, and now I want to be able to bring healing to other people by sharing how I can empower someone else.
Yeah.
By you changing yourself and sharing that. So it is literally, as I can see, you're saying about changing the perspective.
Yes.
Not like just, I'm going to focus on the good, but focus on how you can change how to see it.
Exactly, because that's the relativity in all of it, that it all just depends on the perspective that you choose to take. And that's why we can see some people might have an identical experience where they go through and experience the same thing, and one of them takes it as a incredible blessing while the other one looks at it as a terrible curse. And we're seeing, with the power of our own mind, with the power of our own intention, we can choose to craft our own lens and our own perspective that we choose to view the world through. And the one that serves you the best, if your goal is to lead a life filled with joy, happiness, creativity and connection, is to see every single thing that comes into your life as a blessing. No matter how much of a disguise it might seem like it is.
Blessings in the sky.
Blessings coming down from the sky. No matter how much it might look in that moment like not a blessing, seeing that you still are the ultimate gatekeeper of what you choose to allow into your self, and you can alchemize everything into a blessing. Just as now, for the people listening, we got a little puppy here that Oliver picked up from the street now it's been a week or something. He was missing a home and needed some care, and so he came here to us. But then the dog the other day pooped into my room, like left poop in the room just as I was about to go to sleep. And I had just made this song about every single thing in my life being a blessing. And I see the poop and I'm like, I'm so tired, I just want to go to sleep. Like, I was ready, and I'm like feeling the smell in the whole room of poop, and I'm like, no. And then Ollie comes in like, oh man, I'm so sorry, but I hope you can still see that this is a blessing.
So funny, man.
And I could see the resistance within me, like, don't you tell me this is a blessing, man. This is poop on my floor. But then I'm like, you caught me there, because I realized if I really want to tap into my highest self and my full potential, I have to recognize the blessing in this as well, because it's allowing me an opportunity to step into presence and seeing that I do not have to be at the cause of external circumstance in order to be happy and whole within myself. And so you said that there, and I just immediately recognized that I did not want to have any like state of resistance or any negative connotation to the event, like, because I could have gone down on a path like, oh fuck that puppy, you know, like coming and making a mess, and you know, why do I have to go through this, or become a victim in that state. But I just recognized that that would not serve me in any way, and rather what would serve better would be to recognize that this is what already has happened now, and it will not help it in any way to get mad about it or to dive into any negativity, but rather just to use it as an opportunity for mindfulness. And so that was a powerful moment, and those moments seem to reoccur every time in our lives when we direct our focus towards the blessings like this, so that you're walking down the street and you're not judging anything, no matter how bad it might seem, because when you really dive down the path, you realize that everyone is serving their role in order for this divine creation to unfold perfectly. It is all exactly the way it's supposed to be, and sometimes we need to get quite far from the purest state of expression just in order to have the joy of coming back to remembrance that that was only an illusion to give us the joy of remembering that it was all love all along.
It's all love all along.
It's like how I see it is like yourself in the mirror, you know, trying to pretend that you're something else just in order to then have the joy of realizing it was you all along, you know. It was only a illusion to have that experience of coming back to remembrance, because that feeling is the most joyful one.
Yeah. And coming back, like you're saying, coming back to remembrance, or so one of the biggest parts of my growth, and for anybody maybe watching this as well, is realizing that the story of my life, the story who I think I am, is actually not who I am.
Yes.
And one of the easiest ways that a guy put it across to me was your personality.
Hola.
Your personality means persona, which in the Latin
the Latin root of that
translates to mask.
Yeah.
So, and another one, your personality is just a bundle of thoughts.
Yes.
That you surrounded, and then you believe that's who you are.
Yeah.
So by seeing these stories and these images, like, oh, maybe I can't do this, or these like limiting stories.
Yes.
That are limiting the potential, you know, of who you are. And that's one of my, I suppose, goals, is to bring out the best in people by realizing that, wait a minute, I'm not the story of my past.
Yes.
I'm not a victim to my circumstances, and that you, as the awareness of being inside there, can look at these different types of beliefs, these different types of stories, and say, man, that does not work for me at all.
No.
That's holding, that does not work for me.
No.
You know, like there's been many ones that I can't think of any coming up right now, but as of lately, like, okay, for example, yesterday, I went to do a relaxation class, and this woman gave me this headband. She was like, who owns the headband? And I was like, oh, it's Steph's, my buddies. So I come back and I had an amazing day. I'm just feeling super high, happy, man.
Yeah.
And I come back in here, and Steph, like, the first thing he says to me was like, oh, you got my headband. And he said, that's really funny because I had thought about losing it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I just didn't want to believe that it was gone.
Yes.
And he didn't believe in it and let that go. And then I just appeared with his headband.
It was perfect alignment and synchronicity. It was so magical because that same morning, I was going around in my room like, what happened to my headband? I remembered I hadn't seen it for days. So I'm like thinking, has it just gone away? And like you said there, I decided I'm not going to believe in the reality that I just lost it. I'm going to trust that it will find its way back to me no matter... I don't care about the details, but I'm just not going to direct my energy towards the thought of it being gone. And literally that same day, I'm just walking down the street and I see you coming up in the rain, shirtless, and just the colorful headband around you. And I'm like, you know, it seems too good to be true, but at the same time, it couldn't have happened any other way, because I'm realizing the power of belief is all that it is. Your beliefs create your reality. So if you want to believe that everything is working for you, you will just start to see that manifest in front of your own eyes. And there doesn't seem to be a limit to it, because people want to say that, you can believe something, but in the real world you just have to deal with this and that. But the more you start to focus on only things that serve you, only good beliefs, you start to realize that that is the design of the creation, that just what you believe in gets created. This is the power of manifestation. So when you only keep that high level energy in your field of awareness, you start to realize that true magic, true wizardry, like alchemy beyond your wildest dreams, can be made manifest in your direct experience.
I just want to say, that's a big banger. Bang.
Quote me on that.
Yeah, Stefán Elí. Boom. So, just bang on what you're saying now is perfection, because I'm just having that awareness as well. You said we've been talking about what you focus on grows, and your beliefs create your reality. So imagine a world where everybody understood the power of their mind. Everybody understood that what you think about comes about.
Yes.
So if we really, like on a deep level, understood what we focused on, what we thought about in our imagination will come about in our physical reality, or it will manifest in your body as an illness or as, an emotional something. But whatever you bring in your awareness and you focus on, that's like your wishes.
Yeah.
What you focus on, you think about. So, like, for example, like, if something came up in my head, like, that I didn't want to experience, then I would understand that I need to switch that thought to something that's a more, one that's better. Because I see it as like an image, like a picture. You can have two pictures on the wall. Let's say you want to go, you want to go skiing. I don't know why I'm just using this example, right? So you're going on a ski trip, right? And you're just thinking about, oh my God, I'm gonna crash my skis. I think my ex-boyfriend's coming, and I really don't want to see him. And I don't want to see him. And you're like, you have this image, and I see it like, your third eye. You're just shooting a beam of energy into that image.
Yeah.
And you're shooting the energy into that image, and you're energizing that image of your reality, and then that reality may manifest in your physical reality.
Yes.
So the way I see it now is like, when an image in my mind pops up, like that one that I don't want to experience, I'm shooting the energy in there, and I'm like, whoa, I don't want to create that.
Yeah.
So then I'm taking the focus off of it, bang, creating, how would I rather see it?
Yes, exactly.
What would I rather see in my life?
Yes.
How can I change my perception, my what I want, And that's the simple thing of only focus on what you want.
Yes.
Never focus on what you don't want, because when you focus on what you don't want, you're actually bringing that right to
energizing it. And I feel like this is something I've recognized very clearly in you, this power of creating visions and visualizing what you want to call forth in order to create it, and seeing that you can create an idea or a thought and then direct that beam of attention towards it to energize it and then make it manifest in your reality. Because a lot of people, like in the spiritual community now, like to kind of talk bad about the mind, and say, kind of like that you're trying to get rid of it completely. But how I see it now, for everyone listening, this is a good moment of recognition. Who you truly are is pure divine light, and that light is unlimited completely. There is no limitation. It shines like the sun no matter what. It shines on everything so brightly. But then our mind serves like a prism which we shine that light of awareness through, and that prism it limits the light to condense it into a certain expression, like when you shine white light through a prism and it creates a rainbow, or just red light or blue light or whatever comes through. So it's placing a limitation on that light. But the mind, as this prism, which is the ideas and the thoughts, you can either let the light shine through to create a very dark and ugly expression of light through the prism, or you can design the prism in a beautiful way so that it shines out the most amazing rainbows. And that's what we do when we create habits and patterns of thoughts and intentions and clear visualizations, is we're condensing that light, that pure awareness, that pure loving awareness, pure consciousness, which is who we truly are, shining it through a prism of a beautiful idea and creating the limitation in a good way to experience that reality, because we know we can't, if we're only in pure light, there is no direct experience because you're just in oneness. Then you're experiencing everything and nothing at the same time. But when you shine that light, you create a limitation, but that limitation can be so incredibly beautiful when consciously crafted in a way like that. And that's how I see using the power of the mind in order to serve you.
Banger. And just as well on that, just to blast some, like, you know, because I would love to, I see myself like, you know, what we're doing is just sharing things that people can practically use almost,
Yes.
you know? And you're saying, okay, where you're shining your light, you're creating that reality.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite things I realized is, you know, like my mother, let's say, she had sickness as well. Remember I talked about sickness, and that's why I don't really get into anything like that anymore, you know? Because I realize it's my belief in it. It's my belief in that illness can keep it there. Or if I see a loved one, if I see my loved ones and I think about them, and when I think about them, if I saw my mother sick and, oh God, I wish she would do this, or oh, I hope she looks after herself, which I was doing for a while. And then I realized by me seeing my mother, like worrying about her or thinking that she might be sick, you know, I was sending that energy that way, right? So that's why I love doing visualizations with you and different people here, and visualizing our loved ones, visualizing them happy, visualizing them healthy, sending them the energy. Like I would say, like, even if you're listening to this now, you can close your eyes and just like visualize someone you really love, visualize them and just see them really, really happy, and see them clear, see their skin clear, their eyes clear, see them full of life, see them full of happiness, and they're looking great, you know, and just have fun with it, see them smiling. And the more you do that, that energy goes out to that person. Bang, literally. That energy is going out to them.
Yes.
So you're sending them the blessings.
Yes.
And again, of course, as you're doing that, even you're blessing yourself up as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you're healing yourself doing that. So I think that's an amazing practice, and that's why, you know, I talked about the new world and how rather than seeing the world like, you know, we talked the other night, like we were with some friends and they were talking about like, this is how the world is going to be.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of like, I don't want to see it like that.
No.
I would rather hold that image of everyone living from their true nature,
Yes.
everyone living from happiness, joy, everyone connected. And you can start small. If you can't do the big world yet, do your
Start
little
with
world.
yourself, yeah.
Start with the world around you, and see your family really healthy, see your friends really happy, and you're just sending out that energy to them.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because I'm seeing it also clearer and clearer, like we've been talking on about, that you do not need to buy into any belief or any thought or any story that does not resonate with you. If it doesn't feel in your gut or in your intuition as something that will serve you, there is nothing that forces you to believe it. No matter if your parents have told you it your whole life, no matter if everyone around you is saying that, if it feels heavy within yourself to buy into that story, you are not obligated to do it, and you can create a different story of a more beautiful world that you choose to buy into. And when we come together and we hold that, and we don't allow the external negativity that will inevitably always come our way, you know, there's always going to be something that's trying to pierce into your being, but creating that auric field around us, an energy field of like alchemizing protective energy. I see it like almost like a ball of energy that surrounds me. And even if like a red negative energy that's coming my way and is trying to be directed towards me, this field of awareness transforms it and alchemizes it into a blessed perspective, which I decide to take on and buy into. And I'm seeing now more and more like just all limiting beliefs and all limiting stories are not worth pursuing. And the best compass for that is one that you gave me there the other day about just if it feels heavy, don't pursue it. If it feels light, go with it.
Yeah. That's my friend Jo actually was, again, she helped me out with that one day. Just that simple understanding of, if someone said, oh, you want to go here, or they're saying, let's go, I'm going to the park, like just something simple, right?
Yeah.
It's like someone asks you, hey Steph man, we're going down here to go for a swim.
Yeah.
You kind of had a feeling, you actually had a story about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to the park and these boys are coming, do you want to come?
Yeah.
And your mind might tell you, oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Park sounds nice, these guys seem cool, but in your gut, something is saying, I don't know why, but that feels not, it feels heavy.
Yeah.
And what I would have done before is I would have ignored the gut feeling.
Right.
And I would have listened to the mind, you know? So the journey for me of listening to your gut and going, anytime it feels heavy, just get out. Don't do it. It's not for you.
Yes.
And that is life. That is intelligence.
Yes.
That is, the intuition is always based on the present moment.
Yes.
The mind is based on your past experiences, you know, like the knowledge, let's say.
Yeah.
So that's why I would look back to the memory and go, maybe it will be good, maybe this. But that's why presence is so great, because when you feel that in your gut, you're like, okay, I'll go with this. So you don't go with the heavy option. You don't go to the park. You go, you know what, guys, I feel I'm going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
And that's why I said coming up with phrases to even express that to people.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, guys, I'm going to just take some time with myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to my gut for one moment. And then you don't go to the park and you say, oh, I'll go down to the shop instead.
Yeah.
And you go down to the shop and next thing, bam, you meet someone who's like, Stefán Elí, man, I got this idea. Do you want to come to my house? And we're going to do this amazing thing. And then it's like, wow, amazing synchronicity. And then you're just in the flow.
Yes.
And as I said, you go with the lighter option. Instead of going to the park, you might have gone to the park and then you might have missed the bus, all these different things.
You never know how it could unfold, and you realize your intuition is always leading you towards exactly where you're supposed to be, and it's also serving the greater good. You know, it's not only for yourself, but it's for the collective as well. And what you said there, you know, your mind might come up with a rational idea of you are supposed to pursue this because it makes sense, you know, like in normal circumstances, just because that's how it works out in a rational context, you feel like you quote unquote should pursue that. But if that feeling is heavy, then that intuition will always be a better guiding light than the rational mind, because it might look in your mind that it makes perfect sense that you should take that job or you should go for that degree or something, and a lot of people pursue that rational thinking because, you know, society just tells them that's what makes sense. But a lot of the time we're going against our true intuitive feeling in that, and when we go against ourselves like that, then we're not fully stepping into our highest potential, because that's what the intuition is always trying to lead you towards. And it might do it in very funky ways, you know, you don't even realize, like, wait, it makes perfect sense that I should do this, but somehow it's feeling heavy. And then you take that route, like you said, of not doing it and going for the lighter option, and it unfolds and blossoms in a way that you couldn't have even imagined with your mind, you know, because the intuition always has your greatest good in store.
yeah, banger. And like, just on that as well, like for even anybody listening who's like, oh man, I can't listen to my intuition, I keep getting it wrong, or there's no wrong.
No, that's the thing.
There's no wrong path. So for a while there, I was always going against my, well, not always, but I had that intuition, and I was like, I don't know why, but I listened to the mind. And then I went there and it was like, I knew there was like, life was bringing me in another direction, and I wasn't listening to the guidance fully from myself, and I would get down on myself a little bit, you know, but then I realized there is no ever need to do that, because literally everything you can learn from.
That's the thing.
You go to the park, let's say, and it's all super heavy, right? And then you're like, wow, well, maybe that feeling earlier was telling me something. And then you start to really go, wow, I have this internal compass, you know? Maybe I'm not always in line with it, but it's always there.
Yeah.
And it's always talking to me.
Yes. And seeing that even when you go against it, that was how it was meant to go, in order for you to learn ever more clearly that it's better to go with it, you know? Because if you beat yourself up like, oh man, all of those times I went against my intuition, I could have been creating something so much more beautiful if I just followed it. But you realize that the times that you went against it were all coming together to create for you the perfect circumstance to see the intuition, because at first you're not even aware of it because you're so caught up in following the rational mind. But that's what I see with pain, because when you go against it, you inevitably experience pain because you're going against your true nature, and that pain will just come again and again and again until it's so clear to you, like this master that I have studied a lot, Paul Jack, calls it the pain teacher, because the pain is just always is knocking on your shoulder, trying to say to you, you know, there's a different way, there's something that you can change in order to step into higher beauty and higher awareness. And that pain just knocks on you until you decide to listen, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm also thankful for the pain, because it serves as a guiding system and as a compass. It's like a friend almost that's tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey man, like, you don't need to be in this and you can go the other way. So that's...
And it's also like, when you go the other way, it's like, I'm still with you, brother. I'm still always here, man. And just on that, I want to share one thing. Like, I talked about the pain and the lessons, you know? And even when you go the wrong way, it's always a blessing anyway.
Yeah.
It's always a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
And when I first got to Mexico, you know, I was on that buzz, followed my intuition all the way to Mexico, you know? And hanging out with my friend Joe in Isla Mujeres, man, having one of the most amazing times ever, you know?
Yeah.
And one day me and Joe were at this, like, we were getting our feet cleaned by these fishes, you know, like fish maybe.
Yeah.
And my mother had gave me this beautiful pair of sandals before I left to go traveling, right?
Yeah.
And I taken my sandals off, and I was getting my feet cleaned by the fish. Me and Joanne were like having a vibe, you know? And then when I got up, my sandals were gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, and I was looking around for my sandals, and I was like, oh, I had this feeling of loss and lack.
Yeah.
I had this feeling of, I lost something. That was the frequency I was feeling, you know? And it was okay, you know? I was feeling it, no big deal, but just from a understanding point of view for myself, that's what I was feeling, you know? And so we looked around for a while, couldn't find them, and I was like trying to let go, you know? Trying to let go is the key there.
Yeah.
Because you just let go. You don't try.
If you try, then you're already not doing it.
Yeah, you just trying is like slapping around in the water, you know, the leaf drops in the water and you're just like psh, psh.
Yeah.
So we got back anyway, and I was just, you know, I was doing my best. That's a great one, you know, doing my best. And the next day we got up at 5 o'clock for sunrise, and I did have a bit of intuition. Intuitions were telling me these things, but I was just doing different things, right?
Yeah.
So we went to watch the sunrise in the morning, and as we were in this go-kart, I kind of had thought of like, should we get Melanie? This intuition said, our friend, right? So we jumped in the go-kart in the morning, or bit of context. This island is a little island in Mexico, Isla Mujeres.
Yeah.
You drive around this island on golf caddy carts.
Yeah, no cars.
There's no cars on this island, so it's just golf caddies, right? So me and Joanne get up in the morning at 5:30. We're super tired. We've been like doing too much, not listening to the intuition, which is saying, relax.
Yeah.
Take it slow, man, you know? So we jump in the golf caddy cart and we're driving off like first thing in the morning. And I had the intuition that Melanie said she might stay up all night and come with us. And I was like, maybe should we get her? And me and Joanne said, oh, I don't see her, so we maybe didn't think she was there, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of just went, okay, you know? But I had this awareness, like, maybe I should check, you know?
Yeah.
But I just kept driving.
Yeah.
Right? So we drove all the way to watch the sunrise. did an amazing yoga session. It was super, super good, you know. And then I got up and my hat blew off the cliff.
Yeah.
Right? So I bought this new hat, this really cool hat, and my hat blew off the cliff. And then I had this feeling again in my belly, like, oh, I'm losing things.
Yeah.
You know, this like belief, a belief that I was losing things. And I was trying to get it down the rocks, and Joanne was like, just let it go.
Yeah, it's gone, man.
Let it go. And I was like, oh, I can't let it, you know.
Let it go.
Let it go. And then I go back up and Joanne says to me like, Oliver, you're losing everything, you know?
Oh, yes.
And I was like, I just took on that belief even stronger. You know, I was like, and I gave it energy. That was the key. I gave it my energy with emotion, you know? So bam! And then I had this thought, my mind was like, oh God, I gotta change the program. But it was all effort, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So, funny enough, we got back to the golf cart. I put my bag on the back of the golf cart and we drove off down the road. And again, I was running this in my mind like, I'm losing things. I had this feeling I was losing things.
Yeah.
And when we got back, Joanne went into her friend's house and I was sitting there. I was like, something feels weird, man. And then I looked behind me and my bag was gone.
Oh, yes.
My bag had fell off the golf cart, you know?
Oh.
And I said I was losing everything. I literally had put everything in my bag.
Put a spell on yourself,
Yeah,
man.
put a spell on myself, man. And it's so true, right? And just what I did after that was I had to look at the understanding that happened to me in that pain situation. That, this is terrible. I lost my sandals, I lost my hat, now I lost my bag.
Yeah.
Everything is terrible. I'm only in Mexico a week.
Yeah.
You know, instead of doing that, I was looking to see how I can learn from this.
Yes.
And what I really learned
Crafting your perspective.
crafting the perspective. And it's not like I just went bing up, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, I struggled with it. I was feeling a bit down, but I was looking for the silver lining. I was looking for the golden thread, the lesson from life.
Right.
And the lesson that I took from that was, first of all, when that intuition comes up in the morning, like I said, Melanie, you know, like I put my bag in the back as well, you know, like there would have been someone on the back with my bag as well, you know.
Right.
But she was also a bit upset because she was actually waiting for us.
Ah, I see.
So we left her there, you know. So already it was like not listening to that, you know.
Yeah.
So she would have came with us. She would have had a great morning, but because the intuition wants the best for everybody involved.
Yes.
It wanted the best for her. My life was telling me bring her with us as well, you know. So anyway, it just gave me this pure lesson that whatever you believe will be your reality.
Right.
I believed I was losing things, and life, bang, that's what you're believing, that's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had a great lesson in whatever you think about comes about.
Yes.
And
whatever you speak as well.
Yeah.
That's something so clear, you know, your thoughts and your words are so deeply intertwined that what you think you speak, and what you speak you think, it goes back and forth. So realizing that by your thoughts and by your words you are creating your reality, and when you speak negative spells, whether it be talking bad about other people, gossiping, or you know, talking bad about yourself is also one of the worst ones, you are reinforcing that belief by your words. It's not called spelling for no reason. You are casting spells. But that's the power of positive affirmation and practice when it comes to the thought, you know, like journaling, mindfulness, meditative practice. It's all just about gaining a clearer or like nourishing a relationship to your own mind and to your own self, so that you can consciously put out thoughts and put out words that you see are in alignment with what it is that you wish to call forth, and therefore casting those beautiful magic spells that call forth prosperity and abundance and joy in your life. And that's why I have tried now, and I'm always working on becoming clearer and clearer on not allowing any limiting thoughts or words to exist within me, and therefore I don't want to speak anything that goes against me ever. Never speak a negative thing about myself or anyone else. and be also very clear about creating positive things to say, you know, because then you are creating that and reinforcing that, coming up with mantras, coming up with affirmations. You looking for something there, Asu? What are you turning? Here you go, friend.
Brother Azu.
So yeah, that's the power of the practice, you know, because you're practicing that state of being through journaling, through meditation, so that it becomes easier and easier in everyday life to go back to that perspective of everything is a blessing.
Everything is a blessing. And just again, for anybody, like what I did, right? I remember, shout out Gus, man's a genie.
Boom!
Blast out the Gus!
Genie in the flesh.
Genie in the flesh. I remember one time, Gus just said to me, like, I kind of said, like, how, you know, because I was really searching to have this, like, freedom within my being, you know, and what was keeping me from freedom was my own mind.
Yeah.
Right? Simply put.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always, you have the power.
Yeah.
You're always doing it to yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
you're putting up literally a roadblock for yourself that you realize you're the one who can pull it away at any time.
Yeah. So if people are like here, like, how do I love myself? You know, I asked Gus one time, how do you really love yourself? And he just said simply, tell yourself you're fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell yourself you're fantastic. Because, as you said earlier, who you really are is light, unconditional love, magnificence. So who you are is absolutely fantastic anyway. So it's just changing the thought that realizing you are. So the only thing that would tell you is not fantastic is your own mind.
Yes.
So just, as you said, then positive affirmations. What I did was, I had, when I was doing this, on my bedroom wall, I would just put up like reminders constantly.
Yeah.
Immersing myself in what I wanted to become, what I wanted to, always reinforcing that I'm great, what I wanted to be, and just surrounding myself by good reminders, you know?
Yeah.
Good reminders.
Yeah.
I think you had said you'd done something similar like that.
Yeah. You realize it all plays a part, you know, what you keep around you, whether it be the people, your friend circle, whether it be the things in your room, whatever, it has an effect on you, because both the internal environment of yourself creates the external environment around you, but vice versa as well. So you're realizing when you start to change your internal state, your external reality also starts to become more and more beautiful, but you can use it the opposite way as well, by placing beauty around you, placing good reminders, staying around good people, and in turn what you get is that your internal state receives that energy as well. So that's why I'm very clear always about keeping beauty around me, you know, candles, flowers, art, because I see when I exist within a beautiful state, beautiful external reality, my internal reality, it's so much easier to tap into that beauty and presence there. And it seems to be so effortless how they create each other, you know, that you're working on your internal state and the external state just works itself out quite naturally with that, you know, as within, so without.
That's magic, absolute magic. Like, one of the favorite ones I had, I would tell myself, was, life is so easy, life is so good, and all good things come to me.
Yes.
And I would repeat that in my mind, and I would affirm that to myself, you know, and I would tell myself I'm great and I'm fantastic, you know. And the other morning here, I was like writing my journal, and the sunrise is coming up, and I'm sitting on this table, and I have, my friend gives me this beautiful jar of flowers, and I'm looking out at Lake Atalan, and it's like, literally I'm in paradise.
Yeah.
I'm in paradise. And I'm just remembering, like, not even only a year ago, I was, you know, putting that on my wall, saying life is so good, life is so easy, all good things come to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just realizing, wow, life is so easy, life is so good, and all good things come to me. And I go outside and I'm surrounded by, my external environment reflects how I feel about myself now. My external environment reflects what I put in there internally. Yeah. And that's why the simplest, change your thoughts, change your reality will change.
Exactly, and realizing that we brought ourselves to this experience of reality. You know, we both have seen the other side as well, where it's not as pretty, you know, like it might feel dark, the people around you are on a negative vibe, you're stuck in some kind of experience that you don't feel like is fully maybe paradise in manifested in front of your eyes. But because we had that intuition to follow our gut feeling, we somehow, like by divine guidance, ended up in this paradise that we are in. Like neither of us knew about this place or knew what was going on or anything, but just by listening to that gut and trusting, it just somehow got created in front of our eyes, and we find ourselves in this situation almost magically. Like I don't know how I got here or what even happened, but it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And like just with that as well, like the other day we were sitting down in a cafe here, Emporium, and one of our friends, Wayne, was talking about how he got his dog.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about getting the dog, but as he was talking about his dog, I was just thinking in my mind, wow, that's nice, man. It'd be nice to have a dog. You know, that's I like that, you know. So I was just thinking about that. 2 hours later, I'm walking up the street, and there's this little boy sitting in the corner, and he just like goes to me like this. He's like, hey, he's like, and I'm like, what? I'm like taking him, and he's speaking Spanish, and I'm like, you don't want it? And my friend Victoria is like, yeah, the boy said that he found the puppy and nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Do you want the puppy?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well,
looking at this cute little thing.
I'm like, I guess it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And it was just an instant manifestation of what I was thinking about 2 hours was having a dog.
Yes.
2 hours later, I have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bang, like that, you know?
Yeah, that's the power of attracting things to you instead of going out seeking and searching and trying to get things, to rather just maintain your state and let things flow to you. The same happened now, with the dog and the cat that just...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The cat just decided to move into our place. Like, for people listening, we're living here in this house together.
He needs to pee.
The dog is peeing. I'll share it with the people.
Yeah, share. What are pets? Like,
yeah.
You know?
And the cat, we are just living on this balcony here, and it just starts showing up one day, this golden white, so beautiful cat, and it just starts coming around, and then it just decides that this is new home. So I'm assuming it's been living on the streets before that, and now she's sleeping in my bed. We got her food, she's cuddling, she loves to sleep in our laps and play around here, and that's something that just was attracted into our life experience now without any effort at all. Let me connect the battery here on the computer. There we go. Battery is back. So I'm thinking maybe I say now a little short prayer in order to kind of close ceremony here, and then I hand the word over to you, and you can give a visualization or a prayer or something to bring it all full circle and close it.
You shared about us having been here and just like the golden palace.
Yeah.
You got the golden
palace, the golden cat. Both of us got golden locks of hair.
And we just have these pets. It's like
everything we touch just turns to gold. Boom, boom, boom.
And the more we focus on, the better it gets. That's perfect.
So I'm gonna share a little prayer now. I want to start off by expressing gratitude to the creative spirit for working so wonderfully with us in order to harmonize and alchemize our intention into experienced reality. I'm so grateful for everyone that has come to me on my path in order to allow me to experience and create this life that I'm living now. I'm so thankful for my parents for bringing me into existence, for raising me in such a beautiful way. All the love that they gave me is something that I will forever cherish and express my gratitude now for them, all of my friends, all of the situations that have come about in my life that have given me an opportunity to see ever more clearly who I truly am and what I'm meant to do. Express gratitude to Mother Earth for nourishing us, for feeding us, for giving us shelter, for giving us food, for bringing us life, for bringing us energy. Thank you to the water, thank you to the fire, thank you to the air, and thank you to the earth. Thankful for my breath, for keeping me present and aware in each and every moment. Nourishment in each and every inhale. Letting go in each exhale of everything that does not serve me, of all tension within my being. I'm praying that all the people on the planet may realize their full potential, let go of their limiting beliefs, let go of the victim mentality, so that we may all step together into our highest vision of the grandest version of ourselves that we could ever imagine, that we may recognize our roles as conscious creators in this life. We're not at the mercy of life, but we're co-creating with life. Life is always working with us, leading us to our highest good. Every single thing is just working with you in your life so that you may have an experience of true love, of true creativity. We're not bound by the shackles of any limitation. We can let go of our self-created chains to inspire change and to realize that we are all one and the same. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for yourself, for bringing yourself to this moment, for listening to this podcast. You are on the right path. Everything is unfolding perfectly for you. If it feels heavy, let it go. If it feels light, pursue it.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm filling myself up with love and light in this moment, and I'm radiating it out to every single part of creation. All of the atoms, all of the cells, all of the human beings, the animals, the ascended masters, the cosmic beings, the aliens, the ancestors, our future selves, our future friends, every single part of creation, the planets, the suns, the solar systems, it's all coming together in perfect alignment so that we may experience love and joy.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Aho.
Wow. Man, awesome. And I'm gonna blast it off to close my this beautiful, amazing podcast, man. Thank you so much, brother, for just being yourself and just that's it. Being yourself, man. Being yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much, brother, man. So I want to express absolute gratitude for my whole life, for every moment that I've ever had in my life, for every past experience that I've had, all the experiences that have brought me to this very moment. And the fact that I have this amazing mind, that I can change how I see everything. And I feel so much gratitude because all of those struggles I went through for years and in my mind literally only brought me into the most great awareness of who I am now. And it's given me this amazing ability to express this to people and show them like that I've been there and this is possible, like you can transform, you know, and that's what I really want to like send that out to everybody so much, that it doesn't matter where you are, you know, you are in your perfect place right now and that things can always get so much better. And I just want to express gratitude for all the people in my life that have helped me along my way, all the great teachers, all the friends I've met, all the books I've read, every person who's wrote one of these personal development books, every master, every guru, every guide, every teacher, every person that had followed their intuition and put their learnings and expressed their learnings out to people to help other people find their way. I want to express absolute gratitude for my mother. Mom, I absolutely love you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for our amazing relationship now we have, and that it's getting better and better all the time. And I appreciate you minding me and looking after me when I was younger, and getting me clothes and giving me money, and just like doing your absolute best all the time. Doing your absolute best. And to my father, always giving me great practical advice if I needed it, and always being there if I need something, and just expressing love. And I understand that everyone expresses their love in so many different ways, and it's absolutely just perfect the way that is. And my brother Leonard, sending, man, big love to you, man. I'm so grateful for you. And Owen, my other brother, and all my family, cousins from there, rippling out to everyone back in Ireland, all my friends I went to school with. If any of you are listening to this now, I'm sending you a big love and hug, man. I'm so grateful for all these experiences that have brought me here today. And I'm just so grateful for myself for going on this path and setting that intention that I want to be free and experience love and express my truth more and more every day. And the more I hold that intention in my mind that I'm just going to express my truth, I'm going to express love, I'm going to express gratitude every day, I'm going to absolutely love myself, and this creative force that's within me and that's within every single body, this potential that lies within every single person, this treasure trove of just greatness, that God part of everybody. The more I express my gratitude, the more I express my love, the God part in me is awakening so powerfully. And I just thank you, God, thank you, life within me, within everybody, for giving me these inspirations, for giving me this voice that I can speak this to people, for giving me the opportunity to live an amazing life. And just to see the magnificence in everything around me, the flowers, the people, my own face, my friends' faces, to be able to experience joy. Thank you to the Creator for creating all of this, because it's all around us. The energy has created everything, it's everything. And the more I appreciate that and acknowledge that, I just feel just this, like, I feel like life or God is just giving me the thumbs up within my own being. And it's just like, yes, yes. So everybody who's listening to this, I guarantee anybody who's listening to this has been guided here in the most perfect way. And setting the intention that I hope you get exactly what your life needs, and that you go here from listening to me and my bro just chatting, or because we have these conversations like all the time. So today we just want to let it out there. So anybody who's listening to this, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you give yourself a big hug and tell yourself you are bloody fantastic and you are an amazing being, and the sky is the limit. There is no limitations to what you can achieve.
No.
And that you love yourself and show gratitude for yourself and your whole life journey, and there are no mistakes. There's only just learnings, lessons. And yeah, man, I just sending that a blast of energy now, boom, to anybody listening to this now.
Boom!
That you're, bam, filled with light, man. Yes. And thank you, brother, man.
Oh, thank you so much, man. This has been a great pleasure to dive in with you and share together our stories and experiences and our perspectives and reflections. And yeah, express again gratitude for all of the people listening to this. May you be blessed, may you be healed, may you step through all limitation and step into the new reality that we're all creating together, of a life filled with bliss, joy, creativity, color, you know, Oliver said it, I think this could be a great ending note here. The natural state of a human being is pure ecstasy.
That's wicked, man. Yeah, man.
Alright, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Blessa. Gracias.
Gracias.
Big blessings. Big blessings. Yeah, big blessings. Everywhere I look, I see blessings.